Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cactus Lounge. I am Donna Reed. I'm here in Tucson, Arizona, and I traveled and up with people in 1976. And my guest today is James MacKenzie. And to me, that sounds like he should be in Scotland. But James, tell us where you are and when you first traveled.
Well, I'm actually in Brockville, Ontario, an hour south of Ottawa, the capital of Canada, and I'm about 2 blocks from the St. Lawrence River, so I can walk about 2 blocks and look at New York State. And hi, I traveled in 1983 E.
You can like wave like this
I
across.
waved to the neighbors. It's kind
That's
of fun.
awesome. That's very cool. So, your name was given to me by Marisa as I've been talking about who should I interview about what and what they have done. And do I want to say did you win an award last summer? Did you?
No, 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 no.
Okay. I can never remember anymore whether somebody has told me if they've won an award or what, how I got their information. But she was telling me a little bit about what you do, and you and I have already had a Zoom. But first, tell everyone where you first learned about Up With People and like, how old were you when you travel, what you got you to even interview and go.
Oh, for me, it's a bit of a sad story to start with, only because October 1st, 1982, the girl that I was going with, Heather Daw, and three of my friends from university, we all stayed in the same kind of dormitory. And unfortunately, October 1st, 82, the four of them were all killed in a car accident.
That's
And so it was not the best start to the month, shall we say. Um, and about a week and a half later, I saw this poster, come see this great show down in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, which for me was about a 3 hour drive. I was in Saskatoon. And so I needed anything to get happy again. So I drove down and I saw the show and I went, I could do this. I'm a musician. Why not? Have some fun with it. Um, so I drove down, saw the show, went for an interview afterwards. And I can't remember the first two people, but Scott Decky was my second interview.
okay.
So that's the first time I met Scott. And I remember Scott saying, when could you travel? And I said, what time is the bus leaving tomorrow morning? Because I was
You were ready.
I was ready to hit the road. I just needed to get away from the
Yeah.
sadness. So
Yeah.
anyhow, put the paperwork through, etc. And January 4th, I left Saskatchewan it was 40 below when I got on the jet to head to Tucson. And so
It
40.
was what, 100 degrees difference by the time you.
Oh, yeah. Well, 40 below is the same in both scales, so it doesn't matter. It's just bloody cold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh my
40
gosh.
below, and it was literally a 40-mile-an-hour wind coming off the prairies at that time. So
It had to have been at least 40 above in Tucson. It
it
had
was,
to be.
yeah, but January was beautiful. I jumped 100 degrees easily. And so,
So, okay, so then you joined a January cast that was traveling. Okay, because I remember, okay, that started in 78. I helped with the first one. So when you interviewed with Scott, was it because you already knew you were going to probably be involved in the musical side of things in the band and stuff, or was it just random?
just random. I thought these guys
Okay,
travel. I need to get out of Dodge because I was just still sad from
yeah,
everybody, you know,
yeah.
all that day.
Okay,
So I thought I need to pick me up. So let's hit the road. And they were looking for people, they said. So, okay, let's go.
yeah.
So, what, 3.5 months later, whatever it was, October, yeah, 3 months later, January 4th, I got on the plane in Regina. It was the closest plane to my home of Yorkton. Um, went down to Tucson, landed in Tucson, discovered that I need you know, where's my shorts because
Summer
it's,
clothes.
yeah. And people are sitting, it was funny because people in Tucson are going, oh, it's so cold. It's 70 above. And I'm
Yeah.
going, hey, I got news for you.
You know what, James, this morning, my house, I've had heat and cool off, right? And at my house this morning was 73.
Uh-huh.
And for the first time, I turned the heat on only to 74, only to 74.
Yeah. Well,
But this is the time of year when we can see the people in their convertibles, and you're like, oh, you're clearly not a local,
uh,
that kind of thing. So, all
to
right.
give,
So,
to give you an idea, Donna, we turned the heat on here last week for the very first time. Okay. And let's see, I'm thinking quick conversion in Fahrenheit. Last week, it was about three above. So 37, 38, give or take. Then we turned the heat on. So,
oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Different places. So you traveled the one year.
Yes.
And then went back home. Remind me when you got back home, because I really then want to work into the evolution of
Oh,
what prompted Marisa to have me chat with you.
sure.
So got back home from what up with people, then what?
Then I did the odd job because by the time I got home, it was the following December. So it was kind of like midway through the university semester system.
Right.
So um, did odd jobs for about a year, a little bit more than that. Went back to university. It was fall of '85. I went back to university. The funny part is that before Up With People, I was in university for about 2 years, roughly. Um, and I was taking computer programming and, data, the
Yeah.
the the early stages of computers, right?
Right.
And to be honest with you, I got tired of staring at a screen. It was just wretched. I was in the last class that taught the old cards. It,
Yeah.
it was just brutal. So for me to hit the road, see that I always loved to teach and just helping out, etc. And I love music seriously. So to me, it was an automatic. I'm going into music education. So being on the road really cemented that. So okay,
Okay.
went back to university, wound up getting I wound up getting music education degree. That was the main job I had for better part of
Okay.
28 years, per take. Um, got a history degree just because it was easy to get. And I did my master's degree in distance education, so internet technology, that sort of thing, as it was rising up.
Yeah.
So, and I also, because I was at the university, I also, um, I don't know, public education television in the States.
Yeah.
Up here, each province has one if they want it. So in Ontario, it's called TVO. In Saskatchewan, my home province, it was SCN, the Saskatchewan Communications Network. So is the public education television statements, this station. So I was actually working for them um, a couple of years as well. So
Okay.
uh, the whole education side thing, you know,
What
and
is what transpired after that?
yeah.
And so as I was glancing through some of the things that you put as highlights and things like that, you talked about the importance of Herbie and Dave Mackay and Scott Dickey, which Scott and David have both been interviewed over time here in the Cactus Lounge. Sadly, I started doing this after Herbie passed.
Mhm.
Um, and I tell the story about playing God's skin in that.
Oh,
Well, I don't know if it was a hospital or a nursing home, but
it
he
was a hospital environment.
okay, yeah,
Our tour started. Um, the first part of our tour basically was all of California and then Oregon,
yep,
and the bulk of our first semester, so to speak. So we were up in, I don't know, it was Portland or just outside of Portland, and we were on the daily acoustic, as it were. It was our
yep,
the other half had this set up, so we were doing the acoustic, and there were about six of us. I think Stan was playing the guitar, and what happened was we were in this cancer ward, and we played for about 25, 30 people over there, staff and all. And then before we left, the charge nurse, she came up to us and said, "We have this one gentleman around the corner in the bed. Um, you know, he
there's
couldn't make it.
yep,
So, do you mind just coming and singing a song or two?" Okay. So six of us walked around the corner, and um, well, we walked in the room, and I got to tell you, I have never seen so many tubes hooked up to somebody before.
right,
This gentleman was, struggling. And so um, we sang Godskin,
right,
and then we sang Up With People. And by the time we got about halfway through Godskin, we noticed a tear or two coming down the one eye. And, but he's a smile in his face. And the nurses literally stepped back and had this look of, whoa. They had not seen any outward sign of life from this person in about a month. Just, the heart monitor. That's about it.
yep, yep,
So we thought, okay, he's with us. That's great. And so we finished the songs, wished them well, and then we left to go back to the show site for the afternoon rehearsal. And it was an hour or two later, a couple hours later, that the charge nurse found the show site, came up, and asked for the six of us to come stage right. So we went and said hi to her. And she said, "The gentleman that you sung for passed away about a half hour after you got there." or after you sang the
before he
songs, and
left.
he died with a smile on his face. So as far as I'm concerned, best show ever.
Yeah. Yep. A transition you didn't know you'd be helping with. So,
No.
and then time goes by and you work, and then you start. I was reading about your mom and the dementia and the the transition and what that looks like, and going into a nursing home. And I see you're wearing your ice no slice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pull just like this. Do this
Oh yeah.
just a little bit. We can see it better. There you go.
Oh, there you go. How's that?
Yeah.
Guess who
Um,
went up?
yeah. But but you were talking about dementia and Alzheimer's affecting so many of us. And it's interesting to me as an aging alumni. We're all aging, obviously, but those of us, some of us lost parents very early, and many are dealing with the other side of things, the dementia. And sometimes it's early onset, sometimes it's a spouse. I mean, we don't know. But you said one of your first gigs was going in and playing where your mom was. So why don't you share a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, my mom was living in Saskatchewan still. My father had already passed away. And so she was all alone in the house, and I'm two provinces over in Ontario, and my sister is out in Halifax on the East Coast, so she's even further away. Um, I would phone my mom just about every second day just to make sure she's there, you know.
Yep.
And she hadn't answered in a couple of days, so I phoned the next door neighbor, said, "Hi, could you use your key and check on mom?" He found her kind of semi-comatose on the couch. So effectively, I got her out here to where I live in Brockville, and that was the day she moved to Brockville. So I was able to get her into the system here, and just down the road, St. Lawrence Lodge, wonderful staff. And so um, I would start playing piano just at supper time for my mom because, why not?
Mhm.
And the
Was
residents,
that like was that in the dining area at the place, or you were doing it
yeah,
while you're okay? Yeah.
yeah, it was in and the way this, sorry, the way it was structured at this St. Lawrence Lodge is they have three floors and two halves to each floor, and each
Yeah.
half split into two circles.
Yeah.
So for those with dementia, you keep going around circle unless you actually know the exit door.
Okay.
It's really well designed for that. And
Mhm.
so in my mom's floor, Pine, I would come out and in the dining room at night, I just play, some of her favorites, etc. And the residents loved it. The chef was getting a little annoyed with me because, of course, they wouldn't eat as fast, so he had to wait for me to finish
Yeah.
playing. But other than that, they loved it. So um, what happened was the nursing staff and the PSWs and whatnot at that time they were working many different locations. This is before COVID,
Yeah.
and so word spread that I knew how to play, and I didn't even have to quote start a career. Um, Word spread like wildfire. So that's how my post teaching career started as a full time musician, the
Right.
nurse and the PSWs.
And so you play predominantly in long-term care or nursing facilities and things like that. And the little video clip that I just watched, it looked like there was a reasonable number of musicians, 6, 8, 10 of you, something like that, and some good jazz for whatever that was. And I don't know where you were playing for that specific clip, but well, yes, I do because the camera turned around and showed people sitting there. So you were in some time of a care facility. So you you guys, what you have done is you have played music that speaks to people of a generation
Mhm.
that are in these facilities, correct?
Oh yeah, and well, the way I marketed,
Yeah.
it was meant as a joke, but it's true. I tell people, I always ask, there are two questions. Well, in the Ottawa Valley here in the St. Lawrence Valley, there are 1,001 country artists. We have people up here that play guitar that get called down to Nashville to play Dolly Parton records and stuff, right? Or whoever.
Yeah.
So fabulous musicians in the country world up here. Also a little bit of jazz. So what happens is when I go to when somebody wants to know what do, I say, well, you hire me to not play country
Yeah.
because we play everything else, right? And it's meant as a joke, but it's actually true. We
Yeah.
get don't play it because we get too many. Um, so that's the first thing, and the other thing is that for us. Ice No Slice, I mean, for me, it's anything from solo artist on piano trying to sing high to, usually quintet, sextet, something like that. Um, so that's the kind of setup we
And,
have.
and do you go in, do you do 30 minutes? Do you do an hour? Do people request things? Do they sing along?
Oh, yeah.
How do things transpire?
Okay, so in a typical show, it's 1 hour solid. I don't go
Okay.
under. I always the guys in the band usually, if I'm playing with somebody else, hey James, it's already an hour because
Okay.
I don't. I just lose track of time. I have so much fun. And the other thing I do is I keep telling people that Ice No Slice, as far whether it's just me or a group, we play the greatest hits from 1771 onwards.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and it's like for the dementia Alzheimer's crowd, they sit there and go, okay, that's. And then what I do every show is I'll play this one. You ever hear the song, "Oh dear, what can the matter be, dear, dear," right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, depending on which musicologist you want to ascribe yourself to, that the original song, from my research, and it's been brief, saying I think it came from around 1771, give or take 10 years. So that's where that whole concept came from.
I'll have to look that up because that's one that I grew up singing, and now I'm going to have it in my head going, isn't it like Johnny's no longer at the fair or whatever or something?
Yeah,
He
he
promised to buy
promised to
me.
buy me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the funny part is that, just assume I might be wrong on the year, but that's what my quick research said, back in the day. But I'm thinking the running joke, of course, is if I'm playing in an Alzheimer's ward and everybody's singing every single word, perfect. Your memory is great.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, we know that, yeah, music and poetry and things like that. I stick with this more than what we made for breakfast for sure, or ate for breakfast, or
Yeah.
whatever like that. So the other thing that then you and I had talked about the first time we chatted was a little bit about how you were doing this for free,
Mhm.
and then sometimes now you get paid, the band gets paid. How far is the radius that you go from where you live?
Usually about an hour's drive, maybe an hour and 15 to some of the out eastern side of Ottawa. But I play literally within an hour. I
Okay.
play since I'm right on the U.S. border.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't play in the States because I don't have a card to do so and I don't have a visa.
Yeah.
But from an hour from me, an hour west is Kingston, Ontario. An hour east is Cornwall, Ontario, which is about 10 miles from the Quebec border. And then
Okay.
north is Ottawa, the capital of Canada. So I play in that triangle kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. And do you guys rehearse regularly, or is it kind of thrown together and you just know everybody's talented and can do it? What's that piece of stuff like?
Um, well, telling tales out of school, when you play with some of the best musicians in Eastern Ontario, and some of them were some of the best in Canada at one time, it's easy. What key do you want it in? Start.
Oh, nice.
It's for us. It's really simple. It's great. Somebody call a tune, and if you don't know it, look it up in the book. If you do
Okay.
know it, you just play it off the top of your head.
And do the others sing also, or predominantly you, or?
Yeah, there's one gentleman I play with regularly out of Ottawa. His name is Don Patterson. He's 82, I think, give or take. He's forgotten more notes than the rest of us know. Like he was one of the lead trumpet players in the 70s and 80s in the Ottawa area. Played towards Montreal a little bit, etc.
Yeah,
If you had a band coming through and your trumpet player got sick, or you
he
just
was the guy.
he was the guy. You phoned Don.
Yeah,
He knows a lot.
that's interesting. Um, part of this is that for those of you that listen to these, is I'm going to do an article for hopefully the December issue of Upbeat. I have to count the days and see what we can get done. Um, do do you feel like, is there a season? Like, will you play a lot now before Christmas, or is that irrelevant with what you do?
Well, this week I had Tuesday off. Yesterday I had a whole bunch of meetings and rehearsal for an upcoming show this weekend. Today I have off, and then I have December 3rd and December 28th off. After that, I'm solid, probably 2 to 3 shows a day.
Wow.
It,
Wow.
it's kind
How
of
many care facilities are there?
a lot. Well, it's not just care facilities and hospital It's actually a lot of seniors' residences and
Oh, yeah.
the baby boomer stuff.
Right. There's a bunch of
I'm
us. Yeah.
I'm the tail end of that, and hi.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I knew that what was it? This happened about 10 years ago. Um, I walked in and I said, "Oh, if you have a request, maybe we can play it for you." And the lady in the back row shouted out, "ACDC!" And I,
There's
oh,
going to be that too.
yeah, I kind of went, "Oh no, I'm that old."
That's funny. Well, and I'm a little older than you, I think. So it goes both ways. So I want to go back to Up with People.
Sure.
Did you had told me that you did it's funny you did California and Oregon, so did we. But I spent a whole lot of time up that coast. And we didn't do a lot of in Europe because we were the bicentennial. So then you spent 4 months in Europe. Was your cast pretty international? Was it a pretty international group?
If I remember correctly, we had 13 countries represented:
Nice.
Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Japan, Finland.
Goodness.
We had
Nice. Yeah, you had a good. And do you stay in touch with your cast?
yeah, for those that we unfortunately have lost six.
Yeah, we've
And
lost a few.
another, I think there's another five or six that we can't find because they just, you
Yeah.
know, went into the ether, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, and other than that, I'll phone somebody, Penny will phone somebody. We have a few people that are always in touch with the other
Is
half that
Penny Ronning
don't.
part of your cast? Is that who you're talking about with
Yeah,
Penny?
yeah,
Oh,
Penny.
nice.
So uh,
Okay.
it's funny because a lot of our cast, them by other routes, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was with them for the years, so it's lots of fun.
Yeah. Peripherally. Yeah. Um, that's a pretty good group. Our group is, we might have 16 to 20 that participate regularly. And we have found some people who now participate, but next year's 50 for me. And there's a part of you that goes that maybe they just don't want to be found,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. And it because Up with People affected all of our lives differently, right? We don't know. So is there any one food? I can't remember if I asked you this before. Is there any one food that you tried on the road that either you really loved or you really hated or both?
Um, yes. That's an easy one. We were in someplace in the middle of Finland. I cannot remember the name of the town right now. And this was in middle of September. And so once I got over, you like sauna? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a stretch for me being the Canadian, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
uh, the food. It was a family of four, and they were fishermen, and so right. Sorry, it wasn't the middle of. Anyhow, they were fishermen. I remember that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
And so 4 in the morning or whatever, they went out and did their thing, and by the time I got up at 7, it was breakfast time. So we came in, and I was alone with Al, as they say, and so there's five of us at the table, mom, dad, two boys, and me. And so breakfast consisted of five fish, rinsed off under the tap once, slapped on the thing, it's looking at you. Bon appetit. And I kind of went, yes, don't insult the chef, try it.
Oh my gosh.
I,
Are they like little baby fish?
uh, they look like full size ones to me because they earn their living. So it's like everybody got a fish. It was a big thing. And I kind of went, thank you very much for the food. I haven't tried that one since. No. But
Wow.
since you asked,
No, 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 I know. And then like we have all these sauces and things. You can always smother it with like tartar sauce or ketchup.
yeah,
So
it's a little bit, I remember there was salt and pepper, and I remember there was a lot of coffee. Coffee was my breakfast a lot that day.
what about something that maybe you tried that you weren't sure you would like, and then
Oh, that's a good one.
you
Actually,
did?
no, that was actually the first couple of weeks in Arizona,
Oh,
staging. Um, where I came from, it's pretty bland, right? The further
yeah.
north, the further south you go, especially into the lower
More
states, it's
spices. Yeah.
right. My roommate, Manuel Zimbron from Toluca, Mexico, in staging, he spoke zero English and I spoke zero Spanish. Okay. So we were off to a good start. The host family, mom and dad, only spoke English.
Okay, I was going to ask what host
Yeah.
spoke. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then, but the son and daughter were fluently bilingual.
Okay.
So thank heavens for that. So
Ah,
um, Manuel made supper one night, and he made traditional food from Toluca. And
okay.
I was pleasantly surprised, and I absolutely loved his cooking. It was very similar to what I would eat as far as spice level. It was
Oh,
very similar to what I would eat in Canada. A little bit more, for lack of a better term, pepper. That's about
yeah.
it.
Okay.
But it wasn't anything like Arizona, Texas, nothing even close to that. It was much more like what I would eat up in
Oh,
Saskatchewan.
that's interesting.
So it was a pleasant surprise to my palate, um, and really nice. And I have to tell you one other story.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a look at the time.
No,
Sorry.
no, no. I'll get it to sign when
Okay.
I get a 10-minute light. So,
Okay. Well, during this is if Manuel sees this, he's probably going to kill me, but it's true. So, what happened was we had this arrangement. I had the alarm clock. So, breakfast at 7. So at 6 a.m., the alarm clock would go off. I'd roll over. I'd say, he was in a different bed in the same room. Manuel, shower. That was it. Just Manuel, shower. He'd go see, get up, go do his thing, come back half hour later, kick me in the feet, and MacKenzie, a shower.
oh.
Okay. So that's what would happen. That's our morning routine. So I think it was about a week and a half into it. At 3 in the morning, I get, I'm grabbed and it's like, "Ugh," and I'm shaken awake and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I look up and it's Manuel. He goes, MacKenzie, no, a shower. And then boom, drops me on the floor. I'm like, okay, up with people. I have no idea what's going on here.
Wow.
So, so I'm like, all right. So I went back to sleep, not knowing what just happened. I get up and my alarm goes off and he's already gone. So I'm fine. I went and showered, whatever.
Oh
I
my
come,
gosh.
we're at the breakfast table and the host family is peeing themselves laughing. And I'm like, what's going on here? And Miguel, Manuel, sorry, is just staring me in the eye and he's just mad as thunder still. And I'm like, okay, I have no idea what happened. Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that apparently I talk in my sleep occasionally. And at 2:30 in the morning, I went, Manuel, I showered. And he goes, see.
Oh my gosh. So he got up and went and showered at three
Yeah,
in the
that would
morning.
explain the 3 o'clock awake call for me.
Did he go back to sleep? Like what?
Oh no, he was fuming. Like I don't think he talked to me for about a day and a half. So, uh,
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
well,
That's
and so what happened after that is he'd hear Manuel shower and he'd look at the clock himself and then go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Decide whether or not he should be. What is that? That's always that commercial time to make the donuts where you see the guy just walking
It
and
was
stuff. So, is there any countries that you haven't been to, James, that you'd really like to go to?
New Zealand, Australia, Korea, South
Oh,
and I'd love to go to Austria. Love to go to Austria. I haven't
interesting.
haven't done it yet. Uh,
So,
most
do you know that the EAM, the European Alumni Meeting, is in Vienna
I,
next year?
I heard a little bird told me yes, so I wouldn't mind maybe saving up my shekels to go see that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. If you're not on the EAM Facebook page, you get on it because
I
the girl in charge is posting everything about it. And I sat in on a meeting the other day about the reunion in or Alumni Week, whatever we call it now in Ireland.
yep.
And they talked about it. And the Scandinavians had one, and there's just all these little groups in Europe are doing things, which I got to tell you, it to go and be hosted by someone that lives there, we all know you learn way more than if you just show up on a
Oh yeah.
tour, and stuff like that. So, why Korea?
South Korea.
South Korea.
Actually,
Yeah.
the reason is kind of strange. It's a family connection kind of thing. Back
Okay.
before my brother-in-law, my wife's youngest brother, before he got married, one of his girlfriends, her entire family was from South Korea.
Okay.
I found I I met them a few times, and I actually found their approach to life fascinating. Even though they're living in Canada now, but the traditions and stuff, I just found it fascinating. Plus, I really love the food, so
Ah,
I wouldn't mind visiting the country. It's that simple. It's
are you a Netflix fan?
Yeah, I do watch the occasional show, yes.
So there's a series called Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. It's
Mhm.
a Korean one. Have you seen it? It's a mini series.
I haven't watched it yet, but my wife and
It's
me have
so good.
hey,
So
I
yeah,
will do it.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's and now I'm like hooked on what do they call it? K-pop, Korean, yeah, shows, and it makes me laugh to the point where I downloaded Korean for Duolingo.
okay.
I did I did level one. That's as, that's as far as I'm ever gonna get. I was like, holy cow.
Well, our daughter loves Korean food. I don't know how it was at university that
Yeah,
she wound up loving it, and she started cooking for Linda and I here at home. And it's like, yeah, there's something here. Love it. So,
yeah.
two and two make four.
Interesting. Part of what I like about watching foreign TV shows and film is the directorial style is often very different, right? And they're being filmed in a place with, narrow streets and tiny little stores and things that often as we travel, we think are interesting and quaint, but it's not what we want for ourselves, right? So the whole idea that
Different.
it's a lot, yeah, yeah, that's what opening ourselves up to the world does for us.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love it.
um, go ahead.
Oh, no, you were mentioning the AAW, the annual alumni week, right?
Yeah,
Well, just so happen I've been sort of one of the full-time volunteers for the last 2 summers.
yeah,
So here's the big plug for Mary and the rest of us out there. Come to Ireland. I don't care if it's your cast year or not. This is the 1 in 6 year,
yeah.
usually, but I don't care what year. You got to come because I'm telling you, it's a great time. And
I I appreciate that. I've heard that, and I think I told you that I was talking to Mary and Marisa about volunteering because it is my reunion, but there's a lot of buts.
oh yeah, yeah. If it's your reunion year, come and just party your face off. The
Yeah,
volunteer
do
is well. I'll give you an example. The band I'm don't know for sure if Mary has got them back this year, but the band that played Monday night the previous 2 years,
the
uh,
German band?
well, no, it's Socks in the Kitchen
Oh,
or
okay, okay,
Brian.
no,
Sorry, my
yeah.
apologies, Jocker. Anyhow, there's four of them. They all went to university in Limerick together, and to give you a quality evaluation, I don't know if he's up for a Grammy this year with his band or not, but there was a rumor about that. But his guitar player, I think his name is Sean, if I remember correctly, he couldn't make the following gig. Why? Well, Fiacre said, "Have you heard of this singer called Sting?" And I kind of went, "Oh yeah, yeah."
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of Sting. Yeah. He goes, well, Sean can't make it because when Sting, apparently, this is, I don't know if it's true or not, might have been Ireland, a few pints in them, but
yeah.
apparently when Sting has a house party, sometimes he phones Sean to come and entertain his guests.
Oh,
And I'm thinking, okay.
okay.
So,
Sounds like a good reason to me. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if it is indeed true, it doesn't matter whether it is or not, to be honest with you, because these guys are phenomenal and they're great musicians and they're
yeah.
right in. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, I am going to wrap this up.
oh,
Thank you for your time. It is still morning where you are, but it's almost we're pushing afternoon for you. And I appreciate it. And whatever I write, based on what you sent me, I'll make sure that you read it and approve it before
no
um,
problem. Um,
so I don't just tell lies and make things up and.
No problem. One quick plug for the Music Performance Trust Fund. It's the fund that's available through professional musicians. The shows that I do online for Alzheimer and dementia,
Yeah,
they're done through the Music Performance Trust Fund. They have a Facebook page and everything else. I think I sent you the thing. You can
you
put it.
did. MPTF. Okay.
MPF, yep.
Okay. I'll make
And
sure that gets, yeah. Okay.
please, because the next show for me is supposed to be December 15th at 2 o'clock Eastern. Uh,
Okay.
so it's usually once a month online, and there's a whole bunch more that I do that is just within the homes. So
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. That was there towards the bottom in the COVID section.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, COVID was a
Yeah.
wonderful thing.
I know. I
So,
know.
so
Thank you very much for your time. I hope
welcome.
that I can go next summer. I hope we get to meet in person. That would be really
Well,
nice.
go
Yeah.
to Ireland because I'm buying my ticket as soon as the Black Friday sale starts here.
I
Trust
got it. Okay.
me.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. Have a good day.
Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
I gotta
Bye bye.
stop my recording.